here. Just what are your expectations for tonight? What do you kind of feel like the identity of this series is at this point?
We feel we're still building to our game, a level of consistent with a style of play. We think we got closer to it. In Game 3, we would say the extremes of the series so far is first period in Game 1. We didn't love that. Second period in Game 3, we liked our game in that. Got to keep them off the scoreboard in the first minute of the game because it does affect the game. So we get behind it, and then you get a little tension. I think that's led to the first kind of our first periods in Game 1. They're a very strong first period team in terms of their goal scoring differential, and we need to be able to match that.
Paul's kind of speaking of keeping them off the scoreboard. You guys have given up 13 goals in the first 3 games. Not ideal.
It's very kind.
Just what are some of the adjustments that you guys are hoping to make for tonight's game?
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you. Try not to let them score as much, but we would. I think both teams probably feel that, right? The numbers are high in this series, and I don't. You get some really high-end guys, some high-end shooters and then it's just funny that all the goals seem to be bouncing off something, right? With all that skill, it's still, we get 2 deflections, they get 2 deflections last game. Maybe because now both teams are so heavy at each other's net that's where the action is. So we'll try to be a little bit better in that department.
I mean, through last year's run, Jonah Gadjovich was supporting you guys through it, and his wife had twins in the middle of it. He came back to support you right after it. I mean, how meaningful was it for him to come in there and contribute in his first playoff game after waiting all that time?
It was meaningful for sure. There's way more hard work than that. Like, he didn't go in because I'm a good guy and I really like him, or he'd play every game if it was on who you liked. But the month and a half, there's a 6-week block at the end of our season this year. And it was even in practice, kind of rolling up to the coaches on the wall going, I think Gad's just getting faster. Like, he's actually, the thing that we talked about at the end of the season last year for him was if he could find a half step. And he's done that. So then they had a block of games, 5 weeks worth of games where there was some chemistry there. They were on pucks. They moved off each other very, very well. And then we just added a bunch of depth to our lineup, and there's good players that aren't playing here tonight that I think are going to be great NHL players. Mackey and Sermi and Bull, they've all been really good for us. But as a chemistry unit, the 3 of those guys, they've got something. So I was really happy for him because he had to work hard for it, and he waited his turn. He's been a great guy in the room, just a wonderful man. Waited his turn, so the fact that he gets one, it was great for the Florida Panthers. But the real joy of that goal wasn't that it gave us the lead. I'm not saying it wasn't great, but it was that it was those guys that got it.
Hey, Paul, you mentioned the start. As a coach, what do you try and do to get your team off to a good start, and what are you looking for in those first few shifts tonight?
Yeah, not a goal against, and that sounds silly, but that's actually the truth, right? We had a strange one down the wall in the first game, and we skated over a puck in the neutral zone in the Game 3. I don't just maybe an awareness of how quick that game starts, right? Their legs are driving, they're into holes. They got a real good scrum play on the next one, almost the next shift. So just a reminder of the speed of this game right from the start.
Paul, you know Chris Tanev from your time in Winnipeg, the Canadian division. I'm just wondering, he's taken a beating in this playoffs. I think he's far and away taken the most hits. What stands out about his game and how important he is to them, and how important it is for you guys to continue to just work on them physically?
Yeah, his game's not going to change, right? That's the strength of him is that, I mean, he'll hang on to the puck an awful lot to make plays, and he makes plays. He's probably underrated in some of his puck movement. And he's been doing that forever. He's take block shots, takes hit, keeps playing. So we're not trying to change his game because it's not going to change. They're trying to get to the forecheck. I think we haven't really got to our forecheck game in 3 games the way we would expect to. Try to put a little more pressure on their back end, but his game's not going to change. There are probably defensemen in the league that you might be able to change the way they play with a heavy enough forecheck, but I don't think they've got anybody on their back ends that's changing the way they play because of it.
Paul, you mentioned just how the Leafs are getting to the net and kind of challenging there. Do you feel like your team is doing enough as well to make the Leafs uncomfortable in front of their net and just in that area?
So I don't necessarily feel that. I know I've said it, like in terms of there's some flurries at the net. The zone time would say that we're not. Like I think we've got at times too many people at the net. There's 9 people standing in front of their goalie at times, and then we're ripping it off shin pads. So it's not so much that. The idea was once you get a knuckler that goes in for either team, then all pucks start coming to the net from all angles, and you saw that on the Marner goal. That's just going to the net because they're bouncing in off our D and they're bouncing in off their D, and I don't even think that's coaching. That's just a human reaction to seeing something good and wanting to happen again. So we're doing it, they're doing it. It's just you've got to block as many as you can, get in front, or get them out of the way so your goaltender can see it. But even if you do that, right, it's some strange bounces around the net. So there's more tension for both teams in front of both teams' net. I don't know that we need more guys, so we're going to have to move the benches off the bench and in front. Because there's so many, it's just everybody's standing net front now.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay, guys.
Thank you.